Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which is now available on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC. And in this video, I wanted to go over the brand new information that we got regarding Capcom's Tokyo Game Show presentation for 2022, as they've gone ahead and basically confirmed that they are going to be showcasing the latest information for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, taking place not just physically, of course, in Japan, but also they will be hosting a digital presentation online as well. So first, they decided to post in their social media page in the official Monster Hunter Rise Twitter account for Japan. They quickly mentioned that Tokyo Game Show 2022 will be held starting on September 15th. This will be a Thursday all the way through September 18th, which will be on a Sunday. Capcom has decided to exhibit a real set of venues and distribute an online program. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak will be exhibited both physically and part of the digital presentation as well. And they go ahead and link a page to the official Capcom Tokyo Game Show 2022 event that they will be hosting. Now, of course, like always, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description below for you guys to check it out for yourself. The link is in both Japanese and in English. So if the link for whatever reason resets back to Japanese, just look on the top right of the screen and you should be able to see it have a toggle there for you to be able to put it on English. Now when you go to the actual website, you'll be able to notice that they mentioned that the Tokyo Game Show online presence for Tokyo Game Show Capcom online program and the Tokyo Game Show physical event. They mention both of them separately, so you cannot necessarily get confused. On their front page, they mentioned Tokyo Game Show 2022. Capcom will be taking part in both the physical and online versions of this presentation. When it comes to the actual online presentation, this one will be starting on September 15th at 3 p.m. British time, 7 a.m. Pacific time, or 10 a.m. East Coast time. They mentioned other times there as well, but pretty much for us, it's going to be the same time as the last presentation, 7 a.m. Pacific time or 10 a.m. East Coast time. Here for North America, 3 p.m. for British players. They also mentioned that an hour later, a Street Fighter type presentation will be taking place. So basically, if you stick to the stream, you should be able to see the Street Fighter if you necessarily care about that. Now, the Capcom online program Tokyo Game Show 2022 will not just be focusing on Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, but it'll also be showcasing Exo Primal, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy, and of course the aforementioned Street Fighter 6. So they're going to be showcasing about 4 games in general. They're not necessarily just going to focus on Sunbreak. Now, of course, Sunbreak is the thing that we're very interested to see more about, since this lines up extremely well with the next free title update, which we now know thanks to the latest roadmap that they provided us with in the most recent digital presentation. We know that the next free title update will be taking place at the end of September. My guess would be probably September 29th. Every Thursday now going on, just like the event quest, will end up being the drop date for whatever free title updates we end up getting into the future for the next 2 for this year and the next one for early next year, not counting the 5th one that we can still potentially get next summer. This also lines up extremely well with the 6th event quest that we already know of. I'm gonna make a video specifically talking about a set event quest, but we basically know that, of course, they're gonna start on August 18th, making their way through the 25th, the 1st of September, the 8th of September, the 15th of September, and then the 22nd of September. So basically by the 29th, the day that the free title update number 2 actually drops, is gonna be the brand new wave of event quest. So this lines up perfectly with all that information that we already know about. Now, on the website itself, they do specifically mention that not only is there going to be a digital component to this Capcom online program, but there's also, of course, going to be a physical version of it at very much Tokyo Game Show in Japan. Of course, I'm not necessarily going to focus too much on that, since you basically have to be in Japan to be able to take place there and for you to be able to attend to that. But of course, they're going to be showcasing Sunbreak in person, Street Fighter 6, Exo Primal, and Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection as well. So all those games are going to be there featured physically in one way or another if you happen to be in Japan. But of course, most of us will just have to stick to the digital presentation. Again, it seems like it's going to be about an hour long based on the fact that the Street Fighter presentation starts at an hour later after the Capcom online program. So most likely we're going to get about 15 minutes or so for each one of the games. Remember that the last presentation, the digital event that we just got, was about 15 to 20 minutes. So this lines up perfectly for them to just give us 15 minutes of whatever free title update number 2 information is going to be about. Now, is this going to be the first time that we actually hear details regarding free title update number 2? I do not think so. And the reason for that is because basically for free title update number 1, they did a pretty decent job in the social media page providing us details and features that were going to be part of the free title update that they basically kept providing us in social media. They kept posting stuff on Twitter and giving us details for like features that were going to be added in. Obviously, we didn't actually see gameplay or anything like that, new monsters being mentioned up until the actual digital presentation. But of course, they did a pretty decent job providing us details there. So I think that we're still going to be getting information on Twitter. Most likely starting on September, we're going to get details regarding free title update number 2 on Twitter as they lead up to this 15th of September presentation, which is most likely going to be the big blowout where they give us the actual trailer, what monsters are going to be part of the free title update, what actual big features are going to be there, what afflicted monsters we're going to get, new armor sets, new event quests, etc., paid DLC of course, which is now becoming a thing once again, and maybe even collaborations. I've had a couple of people reach out to me asking me, are we expecting collaborations for Sunbreak like we were expecting collaborations for base Monster Hunter Rise? The question is probably yes, but they're probably not going to be in the same cadence that we got them for Rise. Remember that for Rise, we pretty much expected 5 in total. They end up doing a 6th one, I believe, all the way to the end with Sonic. But I don't necessarily expect them to do the same thing with Sunbreak, at the very least cadence-wise. They're probably going to end up doing it, more sporadically. Since I don't think they're actually going to ever end up doing like Nintendo collaborations, since the game is on PC, they're not going to put up any sort of Nintendo, characters or skins and stuff like that on PC. Nintendo wouldn't necessarily allow them to do that. So if they're going to be doing collaborations, it's going to have to end up being with more Capcom franchises and or, third-party franchises, which, depending on which way you want to look at it, they might end up doing that. And the games like Exo Primal, Street Fighter 6, probably lend themselves very well for them to go ahead and do collaborations with stuff like that, since probably by the time this free title update drops, Exo Primal I think is dropping before the end of the year, and I think Street Fighter is early next year as well. So it makes sense for them to do stuff like that with their very own IPs, but I'm not necessarily too sure that they're going to be too willing to do it with third-party companies or stuff like that, other franchises that are not necessarily Capcom owned. But that's about all the information that I want to go over with you guys. Once again, September 15th at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. East Coast time, 3 p.m. British time. They're going to be hosting this digital online Capcom presentation for Tokyo Game Show, giving us the latest information for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and other franchises as well, where we can expect information for free title update number 2. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.